Welcome to the Serpentine Nakshatra series of our blogs. And today we are starting with the first nakshatra, that is from 0 to 13 and a half degree Aries, and that is Ashwini Nakshatra. Ashwini Nakshatra is 0 to 13 and a half degrees of Aries, and it is ruled by Ketu. So there is no confusion. This is the first nakshatra that is there, is ruled by Ketu, and out of Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwar, it is ruled by Brahma. It is because it's a creative nakshatra. Ashwini is a nakshatra where we begin things. It is ruled by the deities Ashwini Kumars. Ashwini Kumars used to be medicine giving gods in the ancient times, and the animal of this is Ashwin, or a male horse. Okay, and the symbol of this nakshatra is directly the head of a male horse. So you can understand horse, the symbol is a male horse, it's a level nakshatra. So this is a very, very powerful nakshatra for beginning things. It represents the energy, vitality of a horse, and similar like a Martian energy, Ketu energy, and it's very light. It gives a lot of speed, and this is a purely Ketu and Brahma rule nakshatra. And the plant that rules over it is the poison nut tree, where the traditional name is given as Kuchla, and the technical name here is given Strychnos nux vomica. So technically it's the poison nut tree. So Ashwini Kumar, we begin this series, and Lord Brahma. So, and definitely we can also connect it with Lord Ganesha, because that's the beginning of all things, Ashwini Kumar. So that's it.
The serpentine is never what it seems. The serpentine is something else.
Okay, Adim. So, since we are starting with this series, Ashwini. However, as a layman, I might need more clarity about it and how it is practically uh, possible for me to use it and to have a better perspective on this nakshatra in particular. Since we are discussing about this, can you throw more light on this?
Asking about Ashwini, Ashwini is the first nakshatra of the 24 zodiac sign, from 0 degree Aries to 13 degree 22nd Aries. So it's a very initiating nakshatra. It is a very good. It is starting the. It's like starting a car. When you're starting the car, keys, so the machine is coming into energy. So Ashwini is a very initiating nakshatra. It's full of speed. It's like a horse energy. It's full of vitality, but it's very light also. Okay. And it is very light and is level nakshatra. If you see, many nakshatras go up and down. It's very level. You are starting the car, you are just taking speed. Like when a flight goes for takeoff, it's a taking off. When a flight doesn't directly go up, it goes in a level way, it takes the runway and it picks up speed. So the flight takeoff energy for any kind of movement, project, vehicle comes from Ashwini. Also, if you see, it is a Sattvic nakshatra, so it's very light-hearted. You start the engine and momentum is transferred. The energy is fast, quick, is not thinking. It's ruled by Mars and Ketu, so you cannot think. It's some of the things, like rapid action task force, rapid action. Someone makes their plan, but when the task force is mobilized, they just go into action. They don't think too much. They do the duties, go in, surgical strike. You go in with rapid speed, you go in, you do your stuff and come out. You're light, you're very mobile energy, so you go in, do the thing by the number, then come out. So also Ashwini Nakshatra, there is a song by Van Halen, Jump, my favorite. So that song, what is it? Jump. Don't think, just move into action. Okay. If you contemplate too much, so this is a nakshatra which completely relies on action, coming into movement. Okay. If it's too much heavy, too much thought, then it takes a lot of thing to take. So it's light, it's swift, it's movable, it's a Devta nakshatra, it doesn't have any ulterior motives, it just keeps the action inside and initiates into it.
So, if it is about initiating something,
initiation into movement, yes.
And if I observe myself, I'm very good in initiating things. I tend to have a vision when I start things. Although later I get bored really easily. Okay. However, when Ashwini, as you have said and clearly explained that it is about start the ignition. So, what do you suggest, or in your perspective, what do you say if I have to maintain the momentum? Like Ashwini is about momentum, if I
Yeah.
can say.
No, it's an initiation. It's not about
Yes, sorry, I stand myself corrected. It's about initiation.
starting.
Yes. So how do I maintain the momentum, or in my case, if I am getting bored really easily, how to stay focused after starting it, after beginning
See,
it?
when you are doing, if you see the trikon of the nakshatra, Ashwini is a fiery nakshatra, and if you see on that angle, in Scorpio there is a nakshatra which is Vishakha, which is the 16 nakshatra. So if you are having Ashwini, if your action initiation is very good, then you need the support of Vishakha, which is the will to continue, persist, to be committed to a cause, so that sustain the energy that is created by Ashwini. So in a serpentine system, the like the trikon of the sign, there are a trikon bonding between the different nakshatras. Vishakha also is very fiery nakshatra, it's full of movement, but Vishakha nakshatra can sustain the effort which Ashwini has begun. Ashwini is very light, it just starts.
It just starts,
Yeah. But then your support should come from Vishakha. You cannot have Ashwini to sustain too long. You are perfectly Ashwini rule, because you cannot sustain too long. You do the thing, if it's not done, then you cannot sustain.
Exactly.
So for that, you need a trikon support of Vishakha nakshatra, which Scorpion energy is there, which is ruled by Mars and Jupiter, which gives anyone willpower and commitment to be sticking in the cause. The serpentine secret between Ashwini and Vishakha. Both are active, movable, and Sattvic nakshatra. You know, all the nakshatras are divided between Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. So both Ashwini and Vishakha are ruled by Brahma, and both are of the Dharma Trikon. Both are dharmic nakshatras. So that's why I say that energy that begin by Ashwini is sustained secretly by Vishakha, because both the Brahma part is there, and both are Sattvic nakshatra, both are of the Dharma Trikon. So there is a secret serpentine bonding between Ashwini and Vishakha. Also Ketu, Mars, Jupiter connection. So that is the serpentine energy connecting Ashwini and Vishakha.
So what you are mentioning here is, if I have Ashwini, like if I have the initiation, which I have, then I need the support of Vishakha. So in order to imbibe that,
In order to transform the initiation of Ashwini,
right,
you need the energy of Vishakha to
Vishakha.
continue it.
Okay.
So what happens in our body, some nakshatras are very fine, but some nakshatras are very not great.
Right. You mean to say dormant, or
Dormant you have
Or
to
it's not
activate,
there.
because if I see your chart,
Yeah.
Ashwin is there, initiation is there, but you cannot sustain because your Vishakha is weak. You have two planets in Vishakha nakshatra. Those are very vital. So you need to incorporate the energy of Vishakha.
Okay.
And especially now in the heavens, Ketu has just moved into Vishakha from 8 February until October 2022. So you have to invoke the Vishakha energy, and Vishakha has got two deities, I mean Indra and Agni. So that will help you to sustain the efforts that Ashwini has begun so well.
Brilliant. That's great. And then what will you in like in contrast, or in the contrary rather, what do you suggest to like the viewers whose Vishaka is good, right? However, their Ashwini
Yeah,
is
for
not good
anyone,
on the other hand.
anyone whose Ashwini will be bad.
Yeah.
They will have they have all the ideas, they have every plan, but they're very difficult to begin.
Right.
So they should worship Ganpati, the first Ganpati, so that to trigger off the effects of Ashwini. That I have the plans, but to initiate the whole energy, we invoke the Ganpati energy, which is Ketu. Ketu is a ruling thing. So they can just pray to Ganpati and Hanuman and just start. Hanumanji also has lot like Ashwini energy because he just moved. He doesn't think, he just does it.
Yeah.
So if someone worships Ganpati and Hanuman together in a more simple way, first to Ganpati
Yeah.
and then Hanuman together, it will really trigger off the Ashwini energy.
Absolutely, that's so great. Even like I'm inspired, and my life has been about inspiration, right? I look up for things or events that inspire me. One of the things is fitness. Although I don't believe in procrastination, if something tends to inspire me, I start. I take action. I believe in taking
So I
action.
feel your Ashwini energy is very high because it's spontaneity. You
Right.
just have to.
On the downside, sorry for interrupting.
Yeah.
On the downside, what I see is like, okay, I start now. If I see that, okay, there's not much of motivation, like
Yeah, you are saying the same question that you asked. To sustain it, you need Vishakha or some other nakshatra which is there in your chart, which might be weak. So once we do it, so the energy that Ashwini brings to your life can be sustained till fulfillment.
Thank you so much.
The serpentine is never what it seems.